What's up, guys? Jason of New Age Revolution down here in the cave for just a quick idea. All right, let's talk about some changes that are going to come to this room. I'm sorry about the lighting. I got shadows everywhere. These overhead lights just cast nasty shadows. So we'll just deal with it for now. All right, if you've heard me talking a lot about the 80s house recently. And you know that is an idea that is always in my head, but you know, a lot of things need to happen before I even think about a house of my own. Lots of different things need to happen, including time. So that's just, you know, totally on the back burner, but it's constantly flowing through my brain. And we're going to do a show that's almost like, what if I had an 80s house? What would be some essential items that I would have? I'll go through each room with you. I'm going to show you some pictures of some, you know, a couple of the houses that I lived in that I would purchase back down the road, hopefully one of them at least. Anyway, that's all down the road. But right now, what I want to do is I want to change up this room a little bit. If you recall back a couple of years ago, there was for you know, people who've been following the channel for a while, there was a co-host with me. I had a friend for a brief period of time who came down here and we double teamed the show, and we changed the vibe of the show, changed the whole thing. One thing we changed was the room. Behind me was the set for the New 80s Revolution when we had Chris Seaver doing the show. This was the set area, okay? And if you remember, I think there's still a few videos of us on the channel. There was a couch. We put up paneling. There is still paneling behind there, and we had a coffee table, and we had, you know, just like almost like an 80s living room setup. And I want to do that again. So I can't get the 80s house yet. I can't transform my house into the 80s house. And so I'm going to try to capitalize and maximize this space and turn it into an 80s living room motif again. It once was, and I kind of wish I had left it alone, but it once was. I'm going to make it that way again. But we're going to have some major changes, and it's not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of things that I have to move and things that have to find homes, and big changes. So let me spin you around here, and I don't want to edit this, so you're just going to bear with me here while I go behind the camera. All right, so you can see I've already started taking down the Nintendo games. I'm not selling them. All right, I thought about it. I was going to do it. I'm not going to. I would feel too bad selling them. So what I did was I brought the Nintendo. Hi, Finn. Hi, shirtless child. I brought the Nintendo upstairs, and with it brought a bunch of games upstairs. So you can see there that I am taking down many games and moving them upstairs. We have a big TV stand, a big television stand. There's like a 70-inch television up there, and when you get a 70-inch television, if you don't put it on your wall, you have to buy a massive TV stand. So I started, there's a lot of cabinet space in that TV stand, so I moved a lot of the games upstairs. I'm going to move these shelves. I'm going to consolidate this stuff. I'm going to figure out a way to put the Jason Voorhees stuff that you see there away. And, well, not away, but somewhere else, right? It's just a shelf. It's just a shelf. So I've got to be able to figure out a place for it. Maybe have some of this stuff come down. I don't know. But I eventually want a love seat down here. again with a coffee table, a side table. I want to put the you know, a telephone on the side table. I want to have the answer machine hooked up to it. I want to have, you know, a stereo set up down here. I'm not going to be able to use the big Zenith because it's up against a wall right now and it's too big. So right about here where I'm standing, I'd like to have a smaller TV on a TV cart, preferably a wood-grained one that has wheels. I think we've all seen those in our grandmother's house. I'm working with a very, very tight space, but I'd really like to convert it. And that's going to mean moving some stuff around and consolidating some space, which isn't going to be easy to do at all, as I look around, at all. The Nintendo games, I don't know. I'm just going to move. The room right now is wide open. You can walk right down the middle of the room and it's clear of stuff. I might have to put shelves in almost like library style, almost like creating little nooks and corners with bookshelves. If you put them kind of at an L, it divides the room a little bit. And I might have to do that. So what I'll do is I'll lose floor space, but I'll gain all of this space, which could end up being the 80s living room. And that's not going to be easy, but we're going to try to do it. I don't know how. I don't know how. I really don't know how. But I want to try to do it because I think that's going to get me as close to the 80s house as I can possibly get right now at this current decade. Right, so like I said, the Nintendo games are over there. This whole shelf area, this is where I want to put, you know, a chair, a love seat. The paneling is up. I got to get more paneling because we didn't go all the way over. So there's a wall that's showing, but I want to cover it with paneling. This is where I kind of want a couch, a chair of some kind, a coffee table, television right up here on a shelf, on a stand. I just want to decorate it up like a comfy little 80s living room, and then I'll do a show from the set, from this location. But it's going to take a lot of work. A lot of work. I mean, there's big boxes, there's big Nintendo boxes here. I don't necessarily want to put them away. I really don't want to put them away. But I've got to, like, you know, I got to keep this thing fresh. I got to do something different down here. I want more of the feeling down here. I've been pulled recently towards, you know, buying more 80s stuff instead of 80s toys. And now I want to do something with that. So I want to make some space down here. It ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out. We'll get this room looking good, and get the 80s living room going. All right, so I'll keep you posted with any changes that I make down here. Shelf moving. What happens is when I start moving stuff around, it just becomes a giant mess. I mean, it just becomes a massive, huge disaster mess down here, and it becomes overwhelming. And then I'm like, this isn't going to work. So as I do it, I'm going to do it a little bit at a time so that it doesn't overwhelm me. I moved the Nintendo upstairs. I moved about 100 Nintendo games upstairs into that cabinet, which is cool. And now I'll figure out what to do with the remaining Nintendo games. I don't want to pack them away, but I also don't want to use up a ton of shelf space on them, so I don't know. I do not know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So an 80s living room is coming to the cave at some point in time. And then I think it'll be very, very comfortable to do shows down here, you know, because I won't have to sit on the floor. Yeah, so it's coming. Stay tuned. Hang out with me. And, you know, that's all. Good night now.